The A43 between Northampton and Kettering was quieter than usual, but for 7 young people that night, the silence was only the calm before the storm. In one car, a black Volkswagen Golf, sat 4 lads aged between 18 and 20. They had just left a friend's house after watching the football, full of jokes and leftover pizza. In the other car, a small red Ford Fiesta, were 3 young women aged 19 to 21. They were on their way back from a late meal in town, singing along to a playlist and laughing at inside jokes. According to later witness accounts, the 2 cars met at a set of traffic lights just outside the village of Moulton. The Golf pulled up alongside the Fiesta. The boys revved their engine, grinning at the girls through the rain-streaked glass. One of the girls rolled her eyes, but another smiled, maybe thinking it was harmless fun. When the lights turned green, both cars accelerated. Not racing, not yet. Just a bit of playful competition on the open stretch ahead. But playfulness on a wet road can turn deadly in seconds. Dashcam footage from a lorry traveling a few hundred meters behind shows the Golf overtaking the Fiesta, then slowing just enough for the girls to catch up. The cars began to weave between each other, swapping lanes, almost as if daring one another to push further. Witnesses later described it as a game of cat and mouse. By the time they reached the long bend near Sewell, the rain had intensified, visibility dropped, tires hissed on the slick tarmac, and the streetlights gave way to stretches of near darkness. What happened next is still debated. One of the girls insists the Golf cut across their lane without signaling. One of the boys swears the Fiesta swerved first as if trying to overtake in the bend. What is certain is that both cars entered the bend too fast. The Fiesta's rear wheels lost grip. The car fishtailed violently, and then, in a blur of red taillights, spun into the path of the Golf. The impact was deafening. Metal crumpled like paper, glass shattered, and the sound of screeching tires echoed into the night. Both cars left the road, sliding into a muddy embankment. Rain mixed with the steam from ruptured radiators, creating an eerie mist around the wreckage. A man living nearby was the first on the scene. He described running barefoot from his house, torch in hand, to find the Fiesta on its side and the Golf nose down in the ditch. The smell of petrol was thick in the air. Inside the Fiesta, 2 girls were conscious but trapped. Their friend slumped forward, not responding. In the Golf, one boy had managed to crawl out, limping and screaming for his mates. The others were pinned inside, groaning in pain. Within minutes, sirens filled the night. Paramedics, firefighters, and police swarmed the scene. The road was closed in both directions as crews worked to free the injured. The firefighters' cutting tools screeched as they tore through the mangled metal. The aftermath was harrowing. 2 of the boys and 1 of the girls were taken to hospital in critical condition. The driver of the Fiesta, just 20 years old, was pronounced dead on arrival. The surviving drivers were breathalyzed. Neither had been drinking. The police report would later cite excessive speed for the conditions as the primary cause. But rumors spread quickly. Some locals claimed they'd seen the 2 cars tailing each other for miles before the crash. Others said there had been a confrontation earlier that night in a car park. The police neither confirmed nor denied these stories. One chilling detail stood out in the lorry's dashcam footage. Just seconds before the crash, the Golf's brake lights flickered, not in a sudden stop, but in a quick tap. Some believe it was a signal between the drivers, a final dare before tragedy struck. Months later, the scars on the road remained, black marks where tires had skidded, flowers tied to a signpost, and a small cross with the name Ella written in silver marker. Every time it rained, locals said the bend seemed darker, heavier, as if the night itself remembered what happened there. The survivors gave separate interviews, each insisting they never meant for things to go so far. One boy's voice broke as he said, "We thought it was just a laugh, until it wasn't." And so, the A43 carried on. Cars rushing past, tires hissing on wet tarmac.